This episode of the Esoteric Order of Roleplayers is brought to you by the generosity of our backers on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/esotericrp to find out how you can become a backer too. We create and broadcast these episodes live on native lands. We acknowledge these are unceded lands, with diverse communities maintaining connections to these places, and recognize their ancestors, their elders, both past and present, and future generations. Learn more by visiting the Native American Rights Fund website at narf.org.
Yeah.
You ready, motherfucker? We gon' kill your ass.
I'm ready. As I grab the Glock,
The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers, in cooperation with the Dead Gamers Society, present Diary of a Madman, a Hunter the Vigil chronicle, with David Larkins as the storyteller.
Sleep on my stomach so I don't fuck up my sheets. My shit is deep, deeper than my grave, G. I'm ready to die and nobody can save me. Fuck the world, fuck my moms and my girl. My life is played out like a Jerry curl. I'm ready to die.
Right, so we are back for chapter 8, the final chapter. And
I'm so afraid.
As a fan of horror movie series, that usually means there's like 5 more chapters coming.
I almost made that joke. Yeah. I was like, I shouldn't have called it that because now you're going to think. But yeah, we'll see. So final chapter of this chronicle, at least we can say that much.
Yes.
All right. And yeah, we're just going to pick up where we left off. So that would be with all of you outside the moon house, Amestista's house, and Stony, sadly, is no more. But you also heard a scream from within. Ari has just rolled up. No doubt, like the, community gif, with the pizza, walking in and just seeing everything in flames, kind of that vibe. And then we had Nick and Ned and Annie, I believe, all in the same vicinity, if memory serves, making your way back towards the house. So what do y'all want to do? I'll just throw it over to you guys real quick.
I think Annie would run up to Ari and say, Ari, Stoney's dead. There's a scream inside. Let's go.
Yeah, I think we're then bolting straight towards the house.
Oh, without question.
There's
Action mode.
that brief moment of disorientation, what? Okay, yeah, we're going. No hesitation. He's absolutely following his friends wherever they need him, but also I don't know fully what's going on yet. Let's go.
Right.
And just for the sake of asking, this adrenaline rush thing does take time, right? It's not, since we're already amped up, that we could just all look at each other and go, yeah, and then run into the house. It would take a couple of minutes.
Oh no, I think you should be able to adrenalize yourselves. Yeah, in the moment as you're running towards the house, being in each other's presence, all 4 of you together, gangs back together. Let's do this, So by all means, let's go for adrenaline rush. Let's see how crazy you can make yourself.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right. So what were the roll options for that one?
Yes.
I'm listening right now.
That up here. Of course, my PDF crashed. Okay. Stand by.
Standing by.
It's right here on it in the Discord at 8-1.
Great.
We have primary presence plus expression, secondary resolve plus occult, or resolve plus empathy.
I should probably not be primary. I have a 4 in presence and expression.
That's pretty good. I mean,
I have a 5 for presence and expression.
I think I also have a 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think Annie kind of took the lead there, so it might make sense for me to be the one, unless you want to switch into athlete mode on the way over there, Aliou.
No, I'll do the teamwork thing to this.
Yeah.
So supportive, pull out the stakes, even though it might not be strictly necessary. We'll see.
The great thing about stakes is that even if it's not a vampire, they're still a very sharp, pointy object, and most things don't like those.
It's true.
Yeah, they tend to be lethal.
One. It's why my favorite bane in the world of darkness is fire, because nothing really likes being set on fire.
You're right.
It's true.
Werewolves, it's not a bane for werewolves, but it's not like a werewolf was going, yeah, you know what I want to be? On fire. Things are going great for me on fire.
True that.
All right. So, and then the secondaries were also resolved. Well, not also, but they were resolved plus empathy.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll roll that.
So one success for me.
1 for Yola, 1 for Ari, 0 for Ned.
0 for Ned.
Wait.
Ned's still rattled. He just lost his friend.
Are we?
Totally.
Ned, are we doing that special teamwork thing you got where we add additional dice?
Oh, right. I was doing that.
Okay. So do we add
plus
what?
1, I think? It might be plus 1. Yeah.
Okay.
My bonus there was from my specialty, which is teammates in empathy. So I'm adding the plus 1 to see if...
Oh, there we go.
You got 1. Oh, wait. It rerolled the whole thing. I only wanted to roll 1.
Okay.
Will that work?
Yep.
Oh,
all right. So if my math is right, I get 5 dice altogether.
6 because I got an additional success.
Okay.
And Ari,
so 6, and then I get a bonus of an additional 1 from Ned's special ability. Correct?
That's right.
So 3 from us, 1 from Ned's ability. No wait. I'm 3. Nico got a success, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Nico got 2, right?
And I got 2 as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So altogether, so
Plus
Nico
1.
got 1, or sorry, Ari has 1. Ned has 2. Nick has 2, and then I get the bonus from the teamwork trait, so it's plus 6. Is that right?
I don't think
I didn't get any. So
yeah.
my understanding is you got 2 from Ari and 2 from
2 from Ari, 2 from Nick, 1 from Ned.
That's right.
And
1 from my
teamwork.
1 from my teamwork thing, not from Ned.
Oh, right.
Oh, only that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just 5, I guess.
Okay.
Only plus 5.
Only plus 5. Okay. So presence, expression, plus 5, and then I'm going to add a willpower as well. So that's 8.
You cannot.
I cannot? Okay, then let me roll it again.
Risking willpower to do this.
That's right. Thank you. Okay, I got 2 successes.
Perfect. All right. So you do not fall unconscious if your health box is filled with bashing damage. You don't suffer wound penalties. And you gain the successes on the primary actor's roll as a bonus to all resistance traits for the purpose of resisting actions or powers that would inflict fear or cause you to question yourselves.
Nice. So plus 2. Awesome.
Right. We are running towards this house. As mentioned last time, it's kind of a Frank Lloyd Wright style, possibly actually a Frank Lloyd Wright, sort of, California mansion, with some nice deco window treatments and, just kind of a general dark woody sort of color palette. And so it's mostly one story. There's sort of a central tower type thing rising up out of the middle, which 3 of you know from being inside is much like the Patterson house, kind of like the main bedroom suite upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
So you were running towards the house from the back end. You spotted Ari coming up the walk. So presumably he cut across the lawn to, meet up with you guys. So what you see ahead of you is a big deck. That's what, Annie, and I think Ned is also standing out on. There's also a double-decker patio balcony, with like an outdoor fireplace and, a little outdoor dining area. And so you could enter through either one of those, or you could go around to the front and go in through the front entrance. Oh, there's also a garage you could try and get into.
We don't have like enough echolocation to figure out where in the house it came from, right? We just know it came from the house, right? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I think Annie would be inclined to just make a beeline for the nearest, the most direct route in. So
yeah, which is the back. I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we'd have to go back around for the, and then who knows about the garage. So
I actually would go through the garage because I think it'd be good for us to be coming from more than one direction. Plus, as the resident tinkerer, I want to make sure see if there's anything in the garage I can turn into a weapon.
Nice. Does anyone want to go with Nick?
I was gonna say someone should. If no one else does, Ari, I think, will probably split off because we can't leave someone just completely solo. That's no bueno.
It's against the rules.
Yeah,
that's true.
I think that works.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Ari and Nick breaking in through the garage, and we've got Annie and Ned heading up. Now, did you say the back patio or the back deck?
What do you think, Aliou?
I think the deck actually. One, because we've both been there and we're more familiar with it, and I think that's where. Actually, no, that's not where the bulk of the party was. But I feel like we get a better view from right there than we do on the patio, based on what I've heard anyway.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Ready.
Next.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So, yes, please pay no attention to my mysterious dice rolls. Okay. So you're heading up the deck. So Nick and Ari arrive at the garage door. Of course, it's an electric, automatic garage door, but it does have a manual override switch built into the side there. So you want to do your best R2D2 impersonation,
I absolutely do.
All right. So do you have appropriate tools for that on your person?
I'm sorry. Maybe I misunderstood. I thought there was just a button. Is there like a code of some kind that I'm supposed to be entering, or is there am I misunderstood that? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like there would be like a key to turn the lock, unlock it. So it's basically a lock picking skill.
I get you. We have established. I think at some point we did get a set of lock picks from it because we established I could pick locks. Am I remembering?
Sounds awfully familiar to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did.
I definitely remember rolling a lock picking roll at some point.
Yes, I do remember that as well.
Okay. Then I'm going to go with sure. I don't go anywhere without them.
It fits. This is Nick we're talking about. So
it's very on brand for him.
Definitely. Let's get a Dex plus larceny roll.
0 successes.
Mm-hmm. You're like, I got this. It's like, oh shit.
2 amps, Jeff.
2 amps, absolutely. Hey, fingers a little jittery. All right. So meanwhile, Annie and Ned, you vault up the broad steps to the deck, and nobody's out on the deck anymore. When you left, there were a few people standing around. Nobody's there anymore. The French doors to the sort of main living room area are wide open. You also note there is no longer any music.
Turned off
the music. Wow.
What's that?
They turned off the music. That's how you know this is serious. Oh my god.
That's right.
There was the record screech before, and then everything went silent.
That's right.
That's right.
I think I'm going to hurry in, but at this point, the whole, the dead silence and so on. Listen, I'm an experienced hunter at this point, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, and I know you don't just rush in, lest, you might get surprised. So he's walking in very quickly, but he's no longer like barreling through. He glances up a room before he runs in.
Okay, let's get a resolve plus composure roll.
And I get a bonus to that if that's fear, right?
Does Annie need to roll as well if she's going with him?
Sure.
Okay. Resolve, composure. I believe that would be +2, right?
Correct. Noise. All right, so both of you entering the room can immediately detect that like something's seriously wrong. I mean, it's dead silent. Both of you smell blood in the air, and Ned, there's some furniture here. There's a couple armchairs, big couch, and you can see like one raised leg and foot sort of draped over, like in a weird angle over the side of the couch. White tights and a Mary Jane shoe, somewhat petite.
How did she get in here so quickly? Annie says. I mean, Stoney was just killed. Or are there more of them?
Maybe it's more than one. And at the invoking of Stoney again, that caution that he just displayed, he completely throws it away now to go running, looking for, because he felt like he delayed too long. His caution kind of, it was just precious seconds,
Yeah, definitely.
And he was about to do the same thing again here. So he is just.
And Annie is not going to let him out of her sight. So Annie is going to, if he suddenly takes off again, Annie is going to be, rushing right after him.
Okay. Where is Ned rushing to?
Where he thinks people would hide. Will be like, so maybe he's looking for locked doors, anything like that. Whether that's a bedroom or a closet or something like that.
Okay, cool.
He's searching for signs of life is the main thing he's looking for.
Okay. So the living room's, fairly like open plan. There's just some very wide, arched pass-throughs. One to your left going into the dining area, the formal dining room. The other across from you, kind of leading into the entry hall. From there, you can remember that there's stairs leading up to the main suite above, and there's going to be the kitchen, and then off to the other direction, there's going to be like some bedrooms, probably Amestista's room. So if you're looking for hiding places, that's probably your best bet.
That's where he's starting then.
Bathroom. Yeah. All right, let's get another roll for Neg to see if he can get this door open.
I'm trying to look at my stats and see if it makes more sense to try and just smash the lock, and it doesn't, so I'm going to roll again. Okay. 1 success.
Great. So, for a couple seconds, it seems like it's not going to go, and then suddenly there's a click, and the whole door starts going up. There is a car in the garage. So the way that the garage is set up, it's actually a 3-car garage, but it's sort of like partitioned so that the part you're going into is just the 1-car garage area, and then there's like a pass through into the rest of the, the other part of the garage, 2-car garage part. It's very odd. But anyway, yeah, there's what looks to be what you would guess to be Anastista's car, because it's kind of an older model Volvo. It's got some bumper stickers on it, like a peace symbol, and a Imagine World Peas bumper sticker. So, but this is just strictly the parking area. So if you're looking for tools and whatnot, you'll have to push on through to the other part of the garage.
I'm pushing through.
Okay.
I suddenly have push on through to the other side in my head.
So an automatic light did come on when the door opened. So you've got some illumination in here. Entering this part of the garage, you can see there are no vehicles because Anastista's parents are out of town. But there is indeed a workbench with, some very high-end tools, craftsman, newer model stuff, all of it suspiciously not very well used or dirty. It's almost like a performative workbench.
Gotcha. Well, as long as it works, that's perfectly good for me.
Sure.
I'm looking for tools to put together a makeshift flamethrower, like just a fuel source, lighter in my pocket. I assume that that's what I'm looking for to do here.
All right. It's kind of an ad hoc flamethrower, basically.
Yeah, no time to be pretty. There was ever a time for the jury rig rules. This was it.
No kidding. Okay, so probably just resolve plus composure to see what you turn up. More successes, the more you'll find.
You said resolve plus composure? Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nothing. Well, you know what? I'm willpowering this one.
Yeah, sure.
1 success.
Okay, so you find a bottle of like what are we gonna call it? Spray adhesive that has a flammable tag on it. So shake it up, spray it, put the lighter in front of it. Should work. It might even create sort of an ad hoc napalm effect. So it's sticky. So you can always try.
Yeah. I'm gonna basically just grab the duct tape and anything else on the tool bench and just basically tie it together so that it can kind of maybe build a rudimentary trigger so I can use it one-handed.
Great. All right. So let us see how well you do with that. And that would be the jury rig. Okay, so all right. So do you have a craft skill you could apply to this?
Yes, I have a dot in crafts.
Okay. And could go with dexterity or even composure, since you're kind of trying to do it quickly but well,
I'll go with dexterity.
Okay.
Does Ari have any dots in crafts? Could he help me out?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I thought about it for a second. The best I could do is theoretically be like, well, I mean, according to books I've read, this should go here because I've got academics, but I've got no crafts. I've got no actual practical knowledge of that.
Gotcha.
The second it looks like you're done with a relatively big tool, though, I am going to grab that and slip that kind of on my belt or something. Just kind of be like, and now I have a wrench that I can hit people with, and that's better than nothing.
Oh, yeah, I'm absolutely grabbing a nice, heavy, blunt object.
Great.
Can't go wrong with a nice blunt object. All right, so do I get any bonus for the quality of the tool bench?
Yeah, I'll give you +1 for that.
Okay. And then I'm willpowering this one too, because I do not want to screw around.
Failure on a jury rigging an explosive.
Like a bad idea. 1 success.
Woo! All right. Very good. So you have got a little makeshift flamethrower.
Excellent. I have my improvised flamethrower back.
Yes. All right. Meanwhile, Ned and Annie, you are making your way into the bedroom area. So unlike the rest of the house, this room, its lights are off, and so it's suitably creepy. And but it does indeed look like Amestista's room, just based on the decor alone. There's some windows supporting views out onto the ground, so it's giving some ambient light coming in from the light. But otherwise, nary a peep sign of any movement.
I'm gonna say, anyone in here?
Response.
I'm instinctively gonna glance out the window as though something might be and then glance in the closet under the bed, and then the usual suspects, and then keep moving, I think.
All right, it's gonna start moving. All right, so are we turning on any lights, or are we keeping the lights off?
Yes, sorry, I should turn the lights off. Yes. It's now listen, I know. Yeah, I'm still gonna do it. I am gonna turn the lights on. Yeah. Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. I don't see any reason I wouldn't.
I don't know. Certainly not.
Yeah, I can't think of any reason.
So on go the lights, and there's no one in here. The bed sheets are made up, and otherwise looks pretty normal. The only door you see is closed. Doesn't look like a closet door. Could be a bathroom door.
I'm gonna try the door. Try the knob or handle.
Oh, and I should mention there is also a door giving access to the deck, the other side of the room, but that is closed.
Okay, right.
Goddamn entry points does this house have?
I know. Are you looking at like a blueprint?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not a secure house.
I think that Annie's instinct would be that while he's checking the bathroom door, she's going to move over to the deck door, and if there's like a little window or something, she'll like kind of pull the curtain back, or look out on the deck and make sure there's no one out there. Now there wasn't before, but maybe there is now.
Very true. So yeah, looking out, it does look fairly deserted out there. All right. So Ned, you move over to that door, open it up, and yes, indeed, you can see you're looking into a rather large bathroom. There's a big like hot tub, like jacuzzi style tub to your right, and then a large walk-in shower immediately next to it. To your left is a 2-sink countertop. It's got various personal effects scattered about, and then there's a door directly opposite you that is ajar, and you can just see the edge of the toilet, so it's just kind of like separate toilet area. And then beyond the sinks, there's another door, and that one shut.
I'm gonna lean out and say to Annie, there's another door, and then I'm gonna go to it.
How many doors does this house have?
God, I have no idea.
And then Annie will go over and join him.
Feels like we're back in the maze.
We are this close to a full-on Scooby-Doo chase sequence.
Yeah, right.
True that.
All right. Okay. Meanwhile, in the garage, we've got some blunt weapons equipped. We've got our homemade flamethrower, and we've got a door at the top of a little step up. Looks obviously like the door into the main house. How would you like to proceed?
I would like to head up there. I kind of nod for Ari to take the other side of the door, and then I'm going to kick the door in and hold my flamethrower in front of me.
Okay, wow. All right.
I don't know if you noticed, Nick watches a lot of movies.
Yes.
And thinks that he's being cool and smart.
And I'm guessing Nick's never actually tried to kick a door in before.
Absolutely not.
Well, let's get a strength plus athletics roll then and see how well he does.
Not my worst roll, thank God.
Yeah, you're on the soccer team.
I'm on the soccer team. I got a pretty good kick.
That's right. Got some muscles there.
Does my goaltending specialty apply because it's specifically for soccer?
Sure. Let's throw that in.
And people think I'm just a nerdy kid. Aha!
But your parents always said you had to be the Apollonian ideal, intelligence plus physical.
They almost certainly use that actual term too.
Yes.
Two successes.
Great. So maybe slightly to your surprise, it works. It's just like in the movies. The door flies open, and you are looking into a darkened room. However, there's some ambient light coming from rooms beyond. But yeah, clearly you are you're in sort of like a back pantry. There's like a lot of canned goods. And on shelves and a little meat freezer set up, some home pickled vegetables.
Well, we established last session actually that I didn't run off to the woods. I ran back to my car for a flashlight, and so I have that flashlight with me. And thus, because it's the 90s and I'm almost certainly wearing cargo pants, which useful if embarrassing looking. And so I pull my flashlight out, and again, thinking I'm in a movie, which I am not, I flip my flashlight on, and I'm doing like this move because I think this is right. It makes me look cool.
Right. You're doing the Silence of the Lambs.
That's 100% where I got it from. I want to be very clear on this. I do not want any of the listeners here to think that Nick knows what he's doing. He does not. He is just pulling from horror movies he has watched.
All right. Very good. So you start playing that around. Let me just make a roll here. So click that. Go. That. All right. Great. Okay. So you're moving into the room. Ari's right behind you. Meanwhile, Ned, you are going to that door. I'll need a resolve plus composure roll for you.
Yes, indeed. Don't like the roll I just saw, but I'm just gonna ignore it and go ahead. Resolve composure plus 2. There's cross on this one.
Okay. So you're probably on the other side of a closet because you hear the distinctive sound of some clothes hangers being jostled.
Someone in there? I'm stake in hand. Gonna swing open the door and jump back.
All right, so you push the door open and there's a scream immediately upon doing that. Jump back and you are looking into the faces of some of your fellow classmates. Archie Phillips is standing there and he's sort of shielding Amistista and Sarah Guzman. And they look quite quite scared, and Archie goes, "Oh, Jesus, Ned! Oh, we thought maybe she was coming back."
Who?
And
Who's coming back?
Sarah goes, "They got Lauren. She got Lauren."
Who was coming back?
And Anastasia goes, I don't know. This crazy woman, like, she dressed up like some kind of vampire or something. Annie, you were back in the bedroom, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're hearing some shouting, some voices. What do you want to do about that?
Coming from the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll move to the doorway with the bathroom. Do it probably pretty quickly. When I do I catch the last statement about, she was dressed up like a vampire?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll quickly describe Jody. Does she have, bright red hair? It was bright red hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Jody?
Yeah. So does she have bright red hair? And is she the woman from the assembly
Rare festival? Yeah.
So Archie goes, maybe, I don't know. Her hair was black, and she was like wearing a black dress. Like, she looked like a fucking vampire. And then she actually bit Lauren on the throat. And, Sarah starts sobbing at this point.
I'll look back to Annie and go, Mistress Black?
And Mrs. Black had black hair when we saw her in the morgue?
Mm-hmm. Well, not in the morgue, no, but on the TV show she did.
Was it a week? It was a week? What's the...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what Annie says.
Yeah.
I think it's Jody with a wig. She's living out her fantasy. We need to stop her now.
I'll nod and say, you guys stay here where it's safe. And I'm gonna turn back. No, I'm gonna ask, where'd you see her last? Where was she last?
In the living room. She just came in. She came in from back towards the badminton court. She just came running in. It was crazy.
All right. You all stay in here. And then once the door is closed and Ned and I are walking out, Annie will say to Ned, I think that we need to lure her out.
Yeah.
So there are two ways we could do this. One, we pretend like we don't really know. We could be innocent and walk out. I'll be the bait. Or two, we reveal our cards and we call out her name. Hey, Jody, where are you, Jody? And get her to come out and face us. What do you think?
I like option 2.
Awesome.
Call her out.
All right. Well, let's go find Nick and Ari first, that we all can back each other up.
Okay. So Nick and Ari, you guys are pretty much on the opposite side of the house. But there was a fair amount of shouting there. So if you would like, you make resolve exposure rolls. Maybe you overheard something.
Okay. No successes.
All right. So Ari, you do hear some distant shouting. Very brief.
I think quietly I'm going to try to get Nick's attention and gesture towards where the voices were. Like, would I know enough about what my friends generally sound like that, it's like, oh, okay, this sounds like someone I might know versus someone who is a Mistress Black impersonator?
Yeah, I'd say with one success, you can't pinpoint exactly who it might be, but it definitely sounds more like, one of your friends or colleagues. Cool.
Yeah, it sounds like a younger voice and not like a full-fledged adult. So I'll probably then, kind of get Nick's attention. Like, hey, I think I hear some of our friends this way. We should try to meet up with people.
I just nod. Let's go.
And then I'll take some form of point, not super far ahead, because obviously I don't want to split, and also because I know that Nick has a flamethrower, and that didn't work out well last time. but just like enough that I can just kind of help navigate towards where I heard the voices.
Sure.
I'm actually gonna kind of angle myself so I can look behind us. So we cannot. So it makes it harder for us to be snuck up upon.
Okay, good. All right. So let's see. As you are moving forward, so there's really just one way out of this sort of pantry area. It's just a little pass through. You can see up ahead what appears to be the sink portion of like the guest bath. And then there's a door to your right, and then there's a hallway leading further into the house to your left. From behind the door comes like kind of a sound, like a kind of knocking around or thrashing around kind of sound. And then the sound of a door closing beyond that door.
Oh. Do we want to check out that noise? I imagine that regardless, we're going to have to go deeper into the house to get to where we heard the voices anyway, but like...
Strength in numbers. Let's find our friends.
Yeah.
Make a note. Come back when we got them.
So I think I'm going to keep leading towards where I might have heard people, assuming that's not the same direction as the noises we just heard.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're moving away from the door, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're, so Ari passes, through to the hallway, because that's the direction you heard the voices. Nick, as you are following Ari and kind of scanning around, you can see from under that door where you heard the noise, a pool of blood is rapidly spreading.
Oh. Nope. I'm nosy and curious. I can't not. I elbow Ari, angle the flashlight down, and move to kick in the door.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see here. So it is indeed, hinged in the correct manner. So go ahead and give me the same roll, but I need 3 successes this time.
I'm going to willpower this because I'm about to argue that I should get a willpower back because I'm indulging my vice here pretty strong.
Yeah, no, please. Yeah, absolutely.
One more success. 2 successes.
Just the 2. All right. So you kick the door. It does, it is with sufficient force to kind of otherwise kick it open, but then it immediately hits some impediment on the other side and bounces back, shuts itself.
And that's how we give Lauren a concussion.
We don't know about Lauren.
No, that was full above table,
Yeah, right.
Rip.
Yeah. What else you would?
I'm just gonna try to open the door the old-fashioned way then.
So you have to give it a good push, and you can see that you are you get it open about halfway, because you can see that you're basically pushing somebody along the floor. Their hand is sort of dragging through this pool of blood. Beyond, you can see a washer, dryer set, so it's water. But yeah, craning your neck around, looking down, you see it is shop kid Lewis Harper.
Is he alive?
You would not care to bet on that. Yeah, there's just an awful lot of blood all around his neck. His shirt is soaked. His eyes are staring and glassy.
It's Lewis. He's dead. We should keep looking for our friends.
Indeed. So, speaking of, you two are going to call Jody out. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I think we'd wanted to find our friends. So I think we want to go look for them.
Yeah.
But then Annie will say to him, well, if we start talking loudly, they're going to hear us, right? If they're still around, right?
Fuck, you're right. You're right. I'm gonna find like, because you said it was really open, right? And we're on this second floor.
You're on the first floor.
We're on the first floor. Okay.
I think Annie's just going to go for it. I think Annie's been kind of wanting to do something big and bold at this point. So as soon as Ned gives her the okay, Annie heads directly, brisk walk, not running, toward the living room, and starts calling out, "Jody, you psychopath, where are you?"
All right. So at this time, like right as Annie's doing that, Nick and Ari, you're coming up the hall from the sort of guest bath area that leads into the kitchen, but there's the entry hall basically connects the points that both of your groups were at, just on either side, like, so Annie's coming in from the east side of the house, you two are coming up on the west side of the house, and so you hear Annie shouting, look over, there she is, 60 feet on the other side of the entry hall.
It's Jody, and she's in a black wig, and she's playing out her Mistress Black fantasies, and we're gonna take her down. And with that, not Jody, Annie waves at them and
a huge reveal,
like this way.
Yeah, it'd be quite a reveal.
Surprise!
So you're heading into the living room, you said?
Yeah, living room or kitchen, whatever kind of main room, because they'd seen it in the living room. So yeah, we're heading to the living room.
Okay. So and Ned, you're coming after?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Okay. So so all of you head into the living room. Here now you get from this angle you get a better view of the couch and the coffee table, and you can see that lying between them is Lauren's inert form. That was her foot you saw kind of draped up on the arm of the couch. And she is every bit as bloody and dead.
So Annie has the informed Jody condition still from when we scoped her out. Nice. Can I use that to try to see if I can lure her out by provoking her with some good insults or lines?
Yeah, I'd say that because you're informed about Jody, and knowing what you know about her current getup, she might not be responding to that name anymore.
Okay, could I? So that I will call out to Mistress Black instead.
Okay,
but still using my knowledge of Jody to see if I can get her out.
Yeah. All right. So more or less what you said.
Presence plus expression.
Yeah.
And I'm going to spend a willpower on this as well.
Can I assist? Is that possible?
I don't know. I mean, do you have presence and expression?
I do. I have 3 presence and 2 expression. Yeah.
I have 3 presence and 1 expression. I could probably talk, and I'm really annoying.
Yeah, I mean, if you all just want to start hurling insults or something. It's typically
the real vampires we faced were much scarier. Stuff like that,
Oh yeah.
Good one.
Also, I will also point out, probably accurate. I think the main reason we're alive is that the vampire was nice and decided to let us live.
He had his reasons. 2 for Ned.
1 for me.
Great. And 1 from Ari. So it'd be 4 total.
Okay, so plus 4. I'm not going to willpower this one since we're kind of teamworking it. And I've got the condition. So 0 successes, so I'll burn the condition to get a single success.
Okay, good enough. So you all raise this cacophony of insults and taunts and it just goes quiet there for very long few seconds. And then, so the pass through from the living room into the main hall is maybe about 10 feet across with a big sort of arch, and then little decorative finials. So it's quite theatrical. And so stepping out into the archway scary, purposefully like walking with, just like as if she's coming out on stage, is Jody Barnett, aka Mistress Black. She is indeed dressed in a form-fitting, long, black dress with a plunging neckline, and she's letting her push-up undergarments do a lot of work for her there, to try and rival the real Mistress Black's ample bosom. But that itself is just covered in glistening gore. It's running down her chin, down her throat, down her chest. She's wearing this long black wig. She's heavily made up, pale, face powder, and heavy black eyeliner, mascara, false lashes, the whole 9 yards. And her hands are also covered in blood. And she just kind of steps out and she puts her hands up and she says, "In the flesh, darlings."
I don't know. It looks like a cheap Jody imitation to me.
You almost pull off the wig.
Yeah, are you just going for it? All right. Let me give her a roll here to see how she feels about this. Let's see. Give her a wits plus composure roll. All right, 2 successes. So she just, oh, you kids. I've heard worse from my dog. Yes, I have a talking dog too. I am 100% crazy. I'm a good time.
Let's just set her on fire.
Does she have vampire fangs, David?
What, Andrew?
When she's speaking, do we see like vampire fangs? Like prosthetic or real or anything?
She does appear to have fangs, yes.
How'd she get the teeth, Jody?
These? Standard issue. Haven't you ever watched any of my movies?
So you really turned yourself into a vampire, is that what you're saying?
I've always been a vampire.
You were born one?
I'm the only vampire.
Okay, guys, she really is crazy.
You think you're the only vampire? You think we haven't met others?
I don't think I know. If you've met anyone else, those are just losers in cheap get-ups.
I reiterate my previous statement about the pointlessness of this.
I mean, Nick can light her up anytime he wants.
I would like to propose we do the controlled immolation tactic.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's my aspiration, god damn it.
All right. Let's see. So I was looking at that earlier because I said to myself, they're going to want to use the controlled immolation tactic.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
I am.
All right. So obviously, Nick is the primary, and that would be stamina plus firearms.
Or athletics.
Or athletics. Or athletics. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm guessing you're going with athletics.
It is a better role for me, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Versus, okay. So secondary, wits plus, it says wits plus weaponry or brawl to contain the monster. Or wits plus survival or science to contain the blaze. We need one person at least to do both.
I will do.
Go on. I was just going to say I can easily do the brawl option, but that might be the one we can all do. Maybe I'm not sure. What are the options?
That's what Annie would be best to do. Would be the wits brawl, and I think two of us doing that makes sense. Try to kind of contain her.
Yeah.
I don't have a dot in any of the above skills.
They were. What was it? Science, survival.
Yeah, I have no brawl, no science, no survival, and no. What was the other option for
weaponry or brawl?
Yeah, I have none. Yeah, none of them. I have no dots in any of those skills.
All right. The only one
always
Annie has is brawl.
Is one.
Yeah. If you have none, then maybe Ari is best on the control blaze part.
Yeah, because
I don't have science or survival.
That's a minus one, on skill.
Yeah, that feels kind of like an Ari thing.
Yeah.
Do you have 3 in wits, Ari?
I have 2 in wits.
Does it require 3 in wits?
No, I just was
No. You just want
It would just give us
one. Right.
Yeah, it would put me at 1 dice, but not a chance die.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
I say
alternatively, Annie does have 3 in wits, so she could do 2 dice if we think it's more important to kind of balance it out. But we don't have to get a success, right, David?
No, we just have to
one
roll
person
it, right?
assigned to it.
You just have to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Then I think probably best to just not hamper ourselves with 2 negatives, with 2 negative skill penalties. So. Okay.
All right, so just to be clear, Ari's going to roll wits plus survival, basically, and then you and I, Aliou, we're doing wits plus brawl.
Brawl, I assume, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, the failure causes everything to be set on fire, so I would not object to willpower bonuses helping.
Yeah, I'll spend a willpower.
Oh yeah,
Hey, good job,
trying to
Ari.
contain her. Absolutely.
So
I'll
Ari
take the
managed
success on one die.
one success on the 1 die there. Yeah.
Oh,
And
look
did
at
we get
that.
your teamwork bonus here, Aliou?
Right, the
no,
teamwork bonus.
Unfortunately,
Oh no, it's only once per scene.
it's
right?
only once per scene.
Per scene,
Yeah.
and we're at the same scene. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and he got 2.
Whoa,
Six.
whoa, Nettie. 6 successes. Good lord. Okay.
Excellent.
So that's a plus.
Plus 9.
9. Okay, so I'm going to do what I never do, and I'm going to use the online dice roller because I don't think I have that many dice quite. Or other.
Don't curse it. Don't curse it.
I know, right? I know how this works. All right, so that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 9, so that's 13 dice. What? I apologize. I've never actually used this. How do I do that in this engine?
So you can just type /r space 13d10. That can work. Or there's a pull up menu. Okay, let's look at what we got here. We got 1, 2. We got
Just
2, but one of them
But one
10
is a
again.
reroll.
Reroll the
Yeah.
10. So one more.
Reroll that.
And one more.
Keep going. 3
I
successes.
find it appropriate that we exploded twice with fire involved.
Now this is a resisted roll, so she's gonna get stamina plus athletics plus her potency.
Uh-oh.
All right. So we have got stamina. There you are. And athletics is unskilled. Oh, Jody, that's what you get for spending all your time in the lab. All right. All right, and then she gets.
Yes.
All right. Wow. Nice. So your 3 successes beat her too.
Excellent.
Nick just steps forward.
So
All
what
right.
does this look like? We hold her in place and then we...
So I think you're just kind of you're fanning out to kind of keep her from bolting.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense.
And
And
like
then
she-
Nick suddenly pulls out his flamethrower
Yeah.
when she's not looking at him.
Yeah, like the way I see is like in the movie version, like she turns, once in the way she turns again, and then at the final turn, she just turns straight over, back around, and I'm just standing there holding the flamethrower and click. Damn. So the success. Target is set on fire at the bonfire level with torch level intensity and suffers the blinded tilt. The flames don't spread beyond the target, and the target cannot put them out no matter what it does. The hunters may continue.
My eyes.
The targets may continue to make the contested teamwork roll each turn to keep the tactic going. As soon as the primary actor fails a roll or anyone decides to stop, the tactic ends and the fire goes out immediately.
So when so she's on fire for as long as we keep the tactic going.
Yes. And she takes 3 lethal damage every turn.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got them.
All right. All right. Very good. So why don't we didn't really establish initiative, so let's go ahead and do that now.
Yep.
Team for me. Ari is a 10. Nick is a 6. Okay, thank you. And then Annie is a 6 as well. And then...
Sorry, I rolled twice accidentally. My first roll was a 10.
Oh, thank you. And then Ned is a 12. Okay, so Jody goes first, but she is blinded and on fire. So let me just pull up the blinded. Okay, -3 penalty rolls that rely on vision, including attack rolls, halves defense. If one eye is blinded, or -5 and lose all defense if both eyes are affected. Okay. All right, so of course, naturally, she's screaming. Her cheap polyester wig is very quickly going up in flames and melting onto her skin. And yeah, she is in flames. So I think, she can't really see anything. So she's just going to kind of strike out randomly. And since we had Ned and Annie doing the containment, you would be the closest. So I'll just roll a die, and on a 1 to 5, it'll be Ned. 6 to 10, it'll be Annie. Oh, Annie. All right. So she lunges at you. So let's see. We've got -5 on here. All right.
Yeah. And my defense is 2.
Okay. Bend a willpower for her there. Okay. So that would be a net of -2. And then your defense is 2. So we're back to -4. Yeah. Okay. -4. Oof. All right. Still 2 successes.
Oof.
All right.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Just make
And
sure
that was a lethal claw.
So she is actually coming at you to grapple you. So technically that was a grapple attempt. So she's on fire and she's grappling you, which is not pleasant to say the least.
Yeah. So does that mean I take fire damage?
I think actually maybe not, because controlled immolation is specifically about it not spreading.
Yeah, it's very clear. It says that the fire is just contained to the target. Now, I would say that obviously, if you tried to use the tactic to keep it going, that might be a little problematic. But yeah. All right. So, so she's basically jumped onto Annie here and has grabbed her. So let's see who's up next. Ned, what would you like to do?
I mean, yeah. Well, continuing the tactic is ill-advised at this point with Annie grappled, I assume. So I am going to attack her to try and free Annie. She's still technically blinded though, right? Until the
She is blinded until next turn, yes.
Okay, great. Which halves her defense, right?
No, she has 0 defense actually.
Yeah. Oh, great. I am gonna
even better.
Now I think you did have a stake, correct?
I did. Unfortunately. Oh, I wanted to buy it out of weaponry for my stake. I didn't do this, but I do have 2 XP.
Okay.
Is this wrong time? It's fine if it is.
Instant level up. Yeah.
Or should I just try and grapple her right now to get Annie free? Because it's such a good time to stake her, but She isn't even really technically a vampire, I think. Well, I don't know. Stake is -5? Is staking someone?
Normally, yes, but I'm just going to tell you.
Just attacking is fine, right?
Well, I was just going to say, for reasons I will not yet reveal, it's only a -1 against Jody.
Oh, then yeah, I gotta do that. I gotta do that. I'm gonna willpower, and in fact, I am also gonna do an all-out attack.
Nice. Yeah, why not?
-1. So calling on you, dice gods.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, good job. And let's see. So, what did I say? -1. So that would be 2 damage. Lethal, obviously. So, and I believe. Or wait, sorry, 3 damage. Can't read. Trying to remember if 3 was the cutoff for staking the heart or not.
I don't remember either.
I want to say yes.
That sounds so familiar. They sure like to use the word stake.
I was going to say, I don't think it seems like one where a search function ain't going to help you.
Yeah, no, really didn't. Let's see here. I have to find the weapons table.
So the heart, a strike on the heart here in the combat section is -3. If damage equals or exceeds 5, the attack pierces the heart.
5. Okay. So right. So it's normally -3.
-3.
With Jody is -1.
Right.
So that's why I said she damage. -1. So
okay,
and then
so
we
it
had
does not
5.
pierce the heart technically. Dang.
Okay. All right. Well, you do sink your stake into her back, and she, I'm going to say that's sufficient for her to like let go of Annie. It's like
Right.
Now she's got a stake sticking out her back. Okay. So next we've got Annie and Ari acting at the same time.
Would you like to go first, Annie?
Sure. I'm gonna try to. I'm going to do a brawl attack, and I'm going to try to kick her in the leg to give her the leg rack tilt.
Nice. Okay.
Actually, is there? Hold on. I just want to check to see what I would need to do to inflict the knocked down tilt instead. Okay. I feel like if we can get her off,
I think you got to
legs.
beat stamina or something.
Knocks down. I'm causing the tilt a melee weapon with a damage modifier +2 or greater, or a firearm. Alternately, a melee weapon or unarmed attack can knock an opponent down with a target attack against the legs. Okay, so what I'd like to do is do a targeted attack against. The attacker declares that he wants to knock the opponent down. I'm declaring that, and halves the total damage done. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do an attack on the legs. I'm trying to knock down, not do leg rack. So that's going to be half damage, but I want to knock her down.
Okay.
I am going to do strength plus brawl. I'm going to burn a willpower, and that is going to be 3 successes.
Nice.
All right. Oh, wait, hold on. I apologize. I didn't take out the -2. Don't get excited yet. 1 success.
1 success.
I'm
She's
so
knocked
excited.
down.
All right.
Yay.
All right.
She's knocked down. Yay.
All right, down she goes. Ari, you have a large crescent wrench in your hands. What would you like to do?
Some part of me wants to be like, ooh, trying to do the leg rack tilt now that she's knocked down especially would be very interesting, except I have 1 strength and no weaponry.
Ooh.
That seems like a bad call.
But you could do an all-out attack and spend a willpower. And she has no
There you
defense
go.
this turn because she's blinded.
Yeah, she 0 defense.
True.
Good time to do it.
Yep. Well, and willpower. I mean, that's a lot.
And knocked down.
+2, I think, from prone. From knockdown, yeah.
Oh, it's -2. She's attacking from prone.
Oh, or is the other way around? Oh, God.
I think for her, she's attacking from prone.
I see.
Yeah.
If you're prone, you get a bonus to firearms, but
Against
a
firearms, yeah.
penalty to getting kicked.
Yeah,
Makes
fuck it,
sense.
I'm gonna try that. What is the bonus from all-out attack again?
Oh, actually, no. I'm double checking here.
Plus-
It is +2 to hit within close combat distance if target is
If you're
prone.
knocked out. That's what I thought, because I've played a lot of werewolf, and it's been used to great effects against my NPCs.
Nice. Against your adult before NPC.
I bet. Yeah. So in all out attack is +2, but you go up your defense.
So you could rack up a +4 there, spend willpower.
+7.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty legit.
Do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
I am not going to try to leg pin because that would take away 2, and I want to see if I can just deal straight up damage.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, you know,
You did it.
you did damage, you know, it's lethal damage, you know, well, in theory.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about getting a success. It is just very funny to build up. Okay, if I do all these things, I can get a +7 modifier and
Yeah.
1 success.
Hey, listen, it feels good, okay? You lift up that wrench, you know, and you bring it down with as much, you know, anger as
That's
you
right.
can, you know?
And so we'll use the tire iron stats, so or crowbar I mean, stats. So that's a 2 damage. So yeah, she'll take 3 lethal.
Nice.
Donk. All right. So yeah, so she's like trying to get up, and you just like bam, you know, bring it down on her, and it kind of, you know, clips her skull and hits her clavicle. She goes back down. So you know, yeah, she's covered in like the smoking remnants of her wig and dress, and now she has like a gushing head wound as well. Then there's the fried blood that was already on her. You know, it's like cooked onto her skin. So not looking great, but still kicking. So that brings Nick into the fray. What is that?
I would like to do something. I want, if I may, I would like to actually use the flamethrower to, instead of attack her, to do a form of covering fire and shoot it right above her, so that if she tries to get up, she'll just get up straight into the fire. So either she takes the damage from the flamethrower, or she has to stay down.
Interesting. Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, I'm using the covering fire rules from on page 140 of the Hunter Core book.
Okay. All right. Do we need to roll anything now, or just?
I mean, it's supposed to be Dex plus firearms. The idea being, but that's if, like, you know, laying down covering fire, like with a assault rifle from a distance. I don't know if it's the same, given that, like, I'm just pointing it like right above her and pulling the trigger. So I leave that decision to you.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me look back at the flamethrower stats here. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I think at this point you don't have to roll anything, and we'll just cross that bridge we'll burn that bridge if she stands up. Yeah. All right. Speaking of which, we're back to the top of the order here. Okay. All right. So let's see. What does she want to do? All right,
Not
Ari.
me here, I imagine.
Well, he's seriously questioning her life choices at this point. So Ari, she's going to just try and grab your ankle, basically, since you stepped in to bash her. So she's going to lash out at you from a prone position. So that was a -2, I believe, established. And all right. She's no longer blinded. Got that, and that. Okay. Spending point of willpower, offset the penalty there. And what is Ari's defense?
Does that matter given the all-out attack I did, but otherwise 4?
Correct. You did do an all-out attack. Okie dokie. So she has grabbed a hold of your ankle. All right. Next up is Ned.
So she's still on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm gonna do the same thing. Like I'm gonna pull the stake. Actually, no, I'm gonna take another one. And try to stake her again.
Yeah.
And I'm how much more willpower do I have? Okay, all out and willpower.
Okay. She has her defense back now, and her defense is 3.
But I get +2 from her remaining knockdown, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, great. So it's only +4, not +5, basically. Wait, no, and then -1 still for aiming at the heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, -1.
Go.
All right. So yeah,
unfortunately,
You,
quite.
yeah, you do bring the stake down, but she's writhing around on the ground, holding onto Ari's ankle. So you just manage to, give her a nasty puncture wound on her biceps.
Yeah, I'm gonna step on it next turn.
Pin her arm to her torso.
Yeah.
Right. So next up we have Ari and Annie. So Ari, you can try to break out of the grapple if you'd like, or Annie, try to break Ari out and cause damage, or whatever you'd like.
Yeah, I think Annie would like to come over and basically stomp as hard as she can on the arm that's holding Ari's ankle. So I think I'm going to do a specified target arm attack, and I'm going to do an all-out attack.
Okay.
And I'll burn my last willpower.
Okay. You need to exceed the victim's stamina to inflict the arm rank 2. Okay.
Sounds good. Okay, so I just to be clear, her defense previously was 3. So now after the first attack that Ned did, it's now down to 2.
Yeah, not to 2. Yeah.
So it's a -2 from the arm as well. So it's -4 total. My dice pool starting out was only 2. It's -2. All out attack takes it to 0. Willpower takes it to 3.
Ooh. All right.
0.
All right. Yeah. You bring your foot down in the spot her arm was, and then it wriggles out of the way right when it comes down. All right, Ari. Assume you want to break the grapple, or do you just want to attack her? What would you like to do?
I am absolutely going to try to break the grapple. If I'm looking to break the grapple but not necessarily cause damage, can I make an argument for athletics instead of brawl? Like, I'm fancy footworking my way out of, like...
Yeah, I think considering the nature of the grapple, that's perfectly fine. Yeah.
I'm not going to spend my last willpower.
Maintain that vice grip on your ankle. All right. Then we have got Nick.
Fortunately, the flamethrower is not of use as long as you are grappling. So I'm going to drop the flashlight, switch the flamethrower to my offhand, and pull my wrench, which takes up my entire turn.
Okay. All right. Next turn. So Mistress Black, aka Jody, is going to try and sink her teeth into Ari's Achilles tendon. So let's see, we're doing another opposed roll, I believe is how that works. So you can do the same thing. You can substitute athletics, and I'll spend some power. All right, great. And don't subtract defense for grapples, right?
Not when it's an opposed check.
Not when it's opposed,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think so. So,
Okay. All right. Oh, ow.
Jesus.
Oof.
So her bite is 2 lethal. So that would be 6 damage for Ari.
Oh,
Oof.
not pretty.
No.
I am at a -2 to all my rolls now.
No,
We
you're
go.
not. We're
No, you're not.
adrenaline.
Your adrenaline is up.
We don't take
Right.
Right. Suffer no penalties.
Bless adrenaline rush.
So remember to offset that on your rolls because the algorithm's going to automatically put that penalty on. So give yourself a +2 bonus if nothing else with your rolls. All right. So yeah, she sinks her teeth right into the back of your calf and almost severs your Achilles tendon. And you know, your vision just immediately tunnels in. You know, like you almost pass out from the shock right then and there. Okay, so Ned, Mistress Black is now latched onto your friend like a lamprey. What do you want to do?
I have to, especially seeing the wound that was just inflicted, I have to try and free Ari.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna take a page out of Annie's book and try to pin her arm
Okay.
to the floor.
Okay. Yep. Just stomp on her.
Stomp on it, yeah.
Yeah. So her defense is 3. Arm target is -2, so it's a -5 total.
-5 total. I think this is my last willpower. So must it be. -5 +5 from my willpower all out. So straight.
Nice. All right. So, yes.
That is an actual brawl, not a weaponry.
Mhm.
And it does do 1 lethal damage. And 1
Those are
bashing. Yeah,
Okay.
from Karate for Kids.
Oh shit. Okay. So it does 1 lethal instead of 2 bashing, or it does 1 lethal?
Exactly. 1 lethal, 1 bashing. Yeah, one of my one damage on any attack can be converted to lethal.
Wow. Nice. Hey, you finally got to use it.
I finally got to use it. Well, if she'd attack me, I would get to use it. I add to my defense, but
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you do a little crescent kick, you little fancy, bring the foot up and bring it down, and let's see if it exceeded her stamina. So no, it did not. So you don't break her arm or anything. But yeah, I'm going to say that is sufficient to break the grapple for sure. So that brings up Ari and
I think at this point, Annie is just furiously trying to help her friend. So I think she's less tactical at this point, and she's just gonna kick her. So just a basic unarmed attack, all out. So strength plus brawl, and she's prone, and her defense right now is at -2.
Mm-hmm. It's yeah.
Oh, I technically had 2 more dice. I forgot about if she from
Oh, shit.
prone.
Because of her being prone.
Yeah.
That could make a difference. So go ahead and roll those.
No.
No.
Snake eyes.
Yeah. All right, Annie, back to you.
Uh-huh.
Right. 1 success.
Nice.
So that's 1 bashing.
1 bashing, and you were kicking her where?
Just kicking her. No place in particular.
All right. So yeah, you come in and just, you know, like you say, kind of furiously trying to defend your friends and just give her an almighty kick as if you got like a brick into your shoe or something, you know, and there's a little bit of a crunching sound as you connect. And so, you know, the grapple, Ned broke the grapple, you come in, kick her, and she just goes still and sort of rolls onto her back.
Not gonna take any chances, and I am gonna stake her.
Nice.
She wanted to be a vampire.
Yeah. Gets to live out that fantasy.
Seriously.
So Annie doesn't know anything about medicine, but I think Annie is still going to leap to the ground and try to, you know, grab the nearest piece of fabric to like wrap around Ari's leg.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Ari, you're sort of maybe sinking to the ground. The adrenaline's still going, but yeah, it was a pretty nasty wound. I mean, your leg rack tilt in full effect, obviously. Okay, and as for Ned delivering the steak, I mean, she's unconscious, she's prone. You don't have to roll. You just get the steak, position it over her heart. You've probably also seen Pulp Fiction recently, so it's.
Oh, we saw it together.
Yeah, it's nice. So it's not unlike that scene. And just bring it down, and there's like a cracking and a crunching, and it just goes right in, and her eyes sort of fly open, and then she heaves this ragged breath, and just all the tension just runs out, and she just no more.
Ned spends all of 1 second like standing over her, like in shock and awe, but then he remembers that Ari got like raked, and I think do we just drive him out of here?
Well, yeah, you're sort of wondering what to do next, and then
because we have at least one person dead. No, at least two people dead.
You have bodies. Absolutely. No, you have three people actually.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah, you're sort of wondering what to do next, and you can see through the glass of the front door lights of emergency vehicles, police vehicles, something outside, and then in the next instant the door breaks open, and some police officers come rushing in with their guns out, and nobody move, hands up, rushing in, and you can see kind of running up behind them are a couple of maybe like detectives or something. They've got their guns out, and then behind them is none other than Uncle Kurt, still sporting a head bandage, but looking very concerned, of course.
Hi, Uncle Kurt, you're late.
So Amistista had a cell phone in 1994, and she dialed 911. So the remainder of the evening is a blur of talking to the police, Ari getting treated, getting put on a stretcher and rushed off for emergency treatments for the nasty bites, and the rest of you just sort of giving your testimonies. What do you want to tell the police? You want to just give them the whole story?
I don't think Annie would want to include vampires, the actual vampire, but if the whole story is the fact that she's been, I don't know. I mean, I think Uncle Kurt would get the whole story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think with the general police, if Annie was interviewed, I think Annie would just say that, we were at the party and we heard a scream, so we rushed in and just adrenaline took over. And we grabbed the nearest weapons, and
just happened to be some sharpened steaks lying around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, we all went to the garage first and found all this stuff in the garage, including the steaks.
Yeah, the steaks and the flamethrower and the
I throw out a bunch of stuff about how I think they're all in on the conspiracy and that aliens, blah 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 blah, the stuff everyone expects from me. And therefore allowing any discrepancies or odd stuff that we might accidentally slip to be completely ignored because he's just a crazy conspiracy
kid. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, Ned plays it straight. We were attacked, and we had like Annie said, I mean, we did what we had to do, Then he asked, is Ari going to be all right?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think it helps too that there is a certain amount of like plausible deniability of leaving it very short. Like, yeah, we got attacked. Where did she come from? I don't know. Like, we don't know where she came from. initially.
That's what all the other party guests are going to say. You know, there's like, came out of nowhere.
So between the mix,
and I think Annie. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think Annie also expects that by the time they start piecing together the connection with Jody and this person, the dead person in the room, and the fact that we were at the lab and it was Jody's lab, that Uncle Kurt will be on top of it and taking care of it.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll fade out on that. We'll take a short 5-minute break. We'll come back, see what the aftermath has to say.
Sounds good.
All right. See
you right in 5.
See you in a bit.
All right. We are back. So, obviously, this is big news. Yeah, huge story. You know, media dubs it the Pasadena murder house or the mansion killings, you know, various things of that nature. You know, 3 Pasadena high school students murdered at a house party by former student valedictorian Jody Barnett, you know, once pride of Pasadena High, now cast into the interviews on TV with her former teachers and professors and so forth. And of course, all of you, your home phones are ringing off the hook with reporters wanting to get the story. You know, reporters camping out outside school. Your parents do their best to sort of run interference. So what do any of you want to talk to the media, I guess would be the question.
Most out there overtly cranky conspiracy media.
You give a exclusive interview to Weekly World News.
Weekly World News, coast to coast, absolutely. Not only do I give an interview, like, it is the best day of my life.
Coast to coast, good callback. Anybody else?
I think Ned really wants to, but a wiser part of him decides against it for the most part. He doesn't want to, you know, if he doesn't want his face to be on the screen so that some monster, when he's trying to track it, recognizes this is what he's thinking in his head. Oh, he'd get so famous, you know, and
right.
It would get in the way of him living a normal life. So he doesn't, or even a hunting life. And so he doesn't want to do it.
Okay. So yeah.
And he would be the same way, basically.
Yeah. Is there a part of Annie that would want to talk, or are you just wanting to stay incognito?
No, I think Annie is just really wanting to, you know, is really focused on Uncle Kurt and building that relationship, and, you know, trying to cover in her own life. So if any media were to approach her, I think she would probably use inappropriate language and tell them to leave her alone.
Yeah. I'm going to say there's only one interview of Ned, and someone who just caught him like as he was leaving somewhere. Mm-hmm. And they asked him about it, and he said, all I have to say is don't fuck with the Bulldogs.
Nice.
The soccer team, I think. So yeah.
Yes. You're on Wolverines moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about Ari?
Ari doesn't necessarily want to talk about it, but also sees the opportunity with the fact that he's got like 8 siblings or something. Like, I forgot. I know I gave a number originally, and it was something crazy, like between 6 and 8 siblings.
Yeah.
And like, there's definitely moments where he doesn't necessarily want to talk to the news people, but he definitely sicks one of his younger brothers on them.
Yeah.
So like, nothing that can make it to air. Just a lot of like freshmen to like 4th grade age kids just harassing these poor news people.
So a week after, well, not quite a week, 5 days later, a candlelight vigil is organized for the victims at the school. Ari, you're wearing a boot that allows you to get around with crutches. So you're mobile. Do any of you want to go?
Yes.
Yeah, Annie
Absolutely.
thinks it's important for them to show face, so she's going to try to encourage them all to go.
That'll definitely be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's going to be, some people giving some speeches, so on and so forth. And of course, people are bringing flowers and teddy bears, the usual stuff, which they're sort of laying at the base of the plinth where there's, the eponymous bulldog statue, which I actually do have. It does not look like the one in Donnie Darko either. It's a much more realistic bulldog. But would any of you want to, lay something, or are you just going to kind of just be there?
Yeah, I think Annie would have done some sort of witchcraft thing, and done like a little anointed candle that she would have then left there.
I don't think Ned leaves anything. I think he just shows up.
I'll lay a VHS of a horror movie that I shared screen at the last horror movie I hosted at my house. Everyone attended. They had all attended.
Nice.
You know what? I probably lay something for Stony, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what at the moment. What would I don't know, some memento that he had, maybe something he planned to give him for his birthday. It was coming up, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's quite a pile of things, and you'll head up, and it's sort of drizzling. It's very gray, drizzly afternoon. So everyone's got their umbrellas up, and so Ned, as you're laying this unopened birthday present, you kind of try to nest it back a little bit amongst the flowers and the toys and other things.
Mm-hmm.
You notice a spiral notebook tucked in amongst everything else. It's a lab journal, and like a college student would use. So it has a little space on the front for like name and class and so forth. Mm-hmm. So under class, it just says 40-year project, FORTIER, and then name Jody Barnett.
That's definitely gonna catch his eye, and he's gonna look back for a second, and then he's gonna pick it up and flip it open.
So yeah, it's every page is filled with very meticulous handwriting, and it almost looks like it is used as a sort of diary.
Put this here, and he'll no one's gonna know, but he's gonna raise it. Who put this here? And then people are just gonna look at him, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. A bunch of blank looks.
Yeah, and then he's gonna bring it over to the others. Partly, part of him is actually just upset that it's here. Like, it shouldn't be here. It's not.
Yeah.
But he's also gonna look through it to see gonna show it to probably Annie first and Nick, and then just say I found this on the. Someone had laid it down there. It's like a diary, Jody's.
Ooh, give it.
Not here.
Yeah.
Let's look at it later.
Ned is mostly looking around for anyone looking at them. Anyone who noticed him taking it up, anyone who's watching.
Okay. Give me a resolve plus composure.
Ooh. Not wits plus composure?
Wits plus composure. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Sure went wrong. Mm-hmm.
So, looking around, everyone just seems to be very focused on the events. The principals saying some words up at the podium that they've set up next to the mascot statue, and you don't see anyone suspicious. You see a lot of familiar faces. No one out of place, really.
Yeah. Feels kind of, it's a deeply unsettling that someone put this here to him, almost like someone put it there for him to find. He feels, but he is not. He is going to resist the temptation to tear through it right here, right now. Not at the vigil,
Yeah.
I don't know if Nick has that same compulsion,
Only through peer pressure.
It's powerful at this age.
Yes.
All right. Well, where would you all like to go through it?
I feel like the appropriate thing to do would be to do this at the coffee shop where
At
we
the
spent so
coffee
much
shop.
time.
It's got to be.
Back to the E-bar.
Yeah. So Annie will try to get a hold of it so that no one's tempted to look on the way, and hold it in her lap in eyesight just to torment everyone, but not open it herself. And at one point she'll probably say, well, as I keep telling you, if we're going to be real hunters, we all have to learn to be patient.
So at the coffee shop, you get a little corner booth, nicely secluded, and began poring over it. So it's 96 pages. Almost the entire book is filled, as I say, in this very precise and almost like typographical handwriting, and the language matches. It's very clinical, stark, methodical. It varies back and forth between sort of three extremes. There's Jody writing in it as if it's her diary, talking about how how obsessed she is with Mistress Black, essentially, in a way that seems to indicate that she knew her, or at least knew people who knew her, because she's sort of researching the character. She had also accessed that video at KTLA of that attack. And, there's a lot of stuff about one day I will taste blood like that. One day I will tear a throat like that, that sort of thing. Then there's her detailed notes on selecting who she turns her victims. The first one is her friend Patricia from high school. And she details how she, attacked Patricia while they were at Patricia's apartment, and struggle that ensued, and how much of a fight Patricia put up. And Jody saying something like, I can feel the blood pills giving me the strength I needed. She also did go after her friend Benjamin, but he seems to have escaped. She then details how she arranged for the Halloween party at the Patterson house. She's the one who set it up, so that she could observe everyone there while in costume and pick out her next victim, which was Jenna. She details how she stalked him. The section where her attack on Miguel was foiled, is probably the closest that the whole journal comes to actually showing any real emotion. She's quite livid over the whole thing, although she also revels in the fact that she was able to get the drop on that police officer, presumably Uncle Kurt, and nearly kill him. And then the rest of it is, a lot of lab notes, actual lab notes for her experiments. And indeed, it does seem like she's working on something she keeps calling blood pills. And she repeatedly refers to this Lewis character, and also the Santa Monica storage units. So it takes you a good couple hours to go through the whole thing, but that's the contents.
We should get this to Uncle Kurt. Because there could be more of this blood pill stuff going around.
Yeah, there could be. Based on what she said, I'd guess she worked alone, but that doesn't mean...
I mean, I don't know about that. She had some money behind her.
True. I meant she thought she was the only vampire. I doubt she would have allowed another, but you're right. She probably might have had funding.
Yeah, I don't think it was a vampire, because why would a vampire fund that? But somebody was footing the bill.
Oh, maybe that's something we could research. Uncle Kurt's really busy.
I think we should make it very clear to him that we are very interested in police internships.
Right. Okay, so the you turn the diary over. Uncle Kurt is quite grateful for that. This will really help in just tying up a lot of loose ends. It's obviously Jody's dead now, but it just the families of the victims would like to know exactly what happened. We've had Patricia Park down as a missing person for the last 3 months, so this kind of would seem to tie that up as well. And he's more than happy to, hand out some brochures about internships and volunteer programs with the Pasadena Police and the coroner's office if you're interested in that.
I'll lean into him and say, just to be clear, we mean the Hunter Police Course. The Hunter Police internship.
He says, I'm retired from that, but I can put you in touch with somebody if you really want that.
Wait, you're retired, so you're saying there's an opening.
Okay, Annie.
It's not for me to tell you what you can or can't do, but yeah, there's always openings in that line of work. I'll have someone get in touch with you kids.
Thanks. I don't think Ned realizes how grim that statement is right now. There's always openings in that line of work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, great. It's a growth industry. I've been on the ground floor.
Look, Melanie Sweetwater approached us. Just saying.
I just hope we don't ever get cut from it.
And so sure enough, another month or so passes by, so we're getting towards the Christmas holidays, winter holidays, and all of you receive a little postcard in the mail addressed to each one of you specifically, and it's inviting you to a recruitment and orientation fair at the Burbank Airport Marriott, put on by the K-Run Group. It's a very slick postcard. It's got their bearded Poseidon type logo and it's got like photos of like helping people around the world, and then scrawled at the bottom of each postcard is it's just a little little personal note written in ballpoint pen. Just says, Uncle Kurt thought you might be interested, and then initials MS.
We all go or none of us go.
I immediately.
I'm in.
Yeah, immediately he's in 100%,
Yeah.
and he's calling up everyone. You got one, right?
It's going to be very boring if we just stay at home and play the Super Nintendo. So yes, I'm in.
All right, so on the, let's see, Saturday the 17th of December, you gather at the airport Marriott in one of the little convention rooms, meeting rooms. It's very much like a timeshare kind of presentation, right? You got all the stacking chairs laid out, and you're not the only ones. There's maybe a dozen other high school seniors and college age kids who gathered. There's a side table with some cinnamon rolls and bagels, and, cream cheese and coffee, and big Sparkletts water bottle, and then the easel up front with dry erase board and all that stuff. And sitting at some chairs that have been arranged at the front of the room in conversation are two women and a man. Nick, you recognize the woman and the man from the career fair, a couple months ago, shortly before all the Jody stuff. And all of you recognize the other woman. It is none other than your old friend, Beth. Although she's looking much cleaned up these days. She's wearing kind of a power suit sort of ensemble. And she's just looking a little less unhinged, I guess.
Unhinged, yeah. That's Ned has perfected like a real sort of brooding, mysterious look. He needs to be taken seriously here. He doesn't want to. He wasn't sure what age people would be, and if they're going to be a lot like him, or if he was going to be like the youngest. So. And of course, he has a stake, which he always has now. He never goes. He sleeps with one under his pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he'll go. I think he'll just wave to Beth to feel the temperature. It's a distant wave. Yeah.
So you catch her eye, and she actually smiles at you and waves back.
And I don't know Melissa Sweetwater, right?
Correct. Melanie.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Melanie. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, he's gonna get a seat near, maybe not up the front, actually. Yeah, maybe not at the front. I don't know what the etiquette is at these things. In fact, he'll say, "What's the etiquette at these things?"
It certainly seems like nobody wants to sit in the front row.
Yeah.
Maybe that means we should do it. Let's just go do it. Let's just go sit in the front row in front of Beth and make her uncomfortable. Come on.
You know what? Fine. You're right. You're totally right. Yeah, let's be braver than these guys.
Yeah, see, this is part of the test. That's
absolutely.
what I think.
Yeah. It's front and center.
Absolutely. Melanie Sweetwater personally told me that they were keeping an eye on me, and I recognize that woman, so I'm sitting in front.
Because this is the way that we're saying that we're also keeping an eye on them.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Okay. So, as you all get seated, Ms. Sweetwater steps up to the lectern gives you all a big smile, and she says, well, thank you all so much for coming out today. If you're here, it means you received one of our mailers, which means that we here at the Chiron Group think that you have what it takes to join our ranks, particularly our Field Projects Division. This is one of our most prestigious divisions in the entire organization. Chiron Group, in case you don't know, and she just kind of goes into this long spiel about how, you know, they're involved in pharmaceutical research, medical supplies, you know, biotechnology research, you know, for like cancer treatments and you know, HIV/AIDS treatments, and you know, medical tech in general, and equipment. You know, so there's a lot of like, you know, the slideshow, the literal, you know, slide carousel gets wheeled out, and you know, sit through, you know, all these photos of, you know, people working with the company, you know, their various subdivisions and subsidiaries, and so you know, as she kind of wraps that up, she's like, and now I'd like to bring up Beth Mitchell, talk a little bit about the Field Projects Division. Beth, you know, Beth steps up. She says, well, yes, indeed. Thank you, Melanie, and thank you, everybody, for coming out. What is the Field Projects Division? Well, as my colleague Melanie said, it's the most prestigious division in the entire organization. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is where we gather the materials for our most advanced biotech research, medical tech research. And if you make it into this division, we treat you like family. You're family here. And this is a job you're going to want for life. This is a job you can keep for life. This is job security. And you're helping to make the world a better place in the Field Projects Division. So how are y'all feeling about that?
What kind of projects?
Yeah, that was generic as hell.
You raise your hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and Annie, I think, is going to whisper to Ned Dexter and be like, you know, it makes me a little uncomfortable that they do biotech. You know, like after the blood pill thing, like, you know, that just feels wrong.
Yeah, that's the fear Ned's getting as well. It's just uncomfortably close to the kind of work that Beth was doing is what he's afraid of. I mean, Jody,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, Beth gives you kind of like a wink, actually, like, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy that comes up and he says, well, that's frankly some information that we like to go over in interviews. And this is more of just a sort of a opportunity for you all to get to know us a little better as people. And if you are interested in pursuing a job with the Field Projects Division, we have a form that we're going to be circulating at the end of the presentation here. And you can just jot down your direct contact information, and we will set up one-on-one meetings just to see if you really got what it takes. But I want to thank you all for coming out today, and as a special thank you, Melanie here, she's got free passes to Universal Studios tour to hand out to everybody. She indeed started circulating around, giving you all, like, you know, a little pass for, you know, a one-day pass at Universal Studios.
Well, I won't say no. I mean,
I mean, sounds like good bonding for the four of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, can we get 4 forms down here, please?
Okay, so you're all going to fill out the form?
Yeah. I think we should interview, but I think we should also see if they'll consider interviewing the four of us together.
4-person cell.
Sell it.
And I think as you'll see on our resume, we have a lot more experience than most people in this room.
Yeah, quite accomplished actually.
Our resume. So actually, the forms are quite extensive. It's not just like your name and address. Obviously, we already have that. But they want your medical history, your family medical history, any criminal record, any disciplinary record, at school. Have you ever suspended? Have you ever had detention? And then there's like the last page is like, is there anything else you feel we should know?
That's where there's a lot to put there. And if I run out of space, I'll say have you ever had detention? No, but I did, fight to death. Yeah. So,
and I think Annie in that section is just going to write references. Uncle Kurt.
Right. So yeah, you get everything. You get your forms turned in. You get your free passes to Universal Studios, and as you're exiting, Beth and Melanie and this guy who never introduced himself, are kind of at the door, just thanking everybody, and Melanie sees Nig. She's like, "Glad you could make it out, Mr. Graves."
Well, thank you you seemed, after getting the personal touch and the personal invite, you've been rude not to.
He goes by Nick. Don't call him Mr. Graves. He gets too arrogant.
So she gives you a little smile and she says, that's fine, Ned. We hope to see you too. We think you'd be particularly well suited for our retrieval center.
Ooh. Retrieval. I'm sure that's code for something real cool.
I think there's a little playful jab at, hey Ned, yeah, they're gonna have you go play fetch or something, apparently.
It's an acronym.
Retrieval? That's a long acronym.
Yeah. I mean, they love their acronyms over at
Alphabet soup. All right. So, many promises of we'll be in touch. We'll schedule something soon. But, soon enough, it is the winter holidays, and, you can forget your troubles a little bit, perhaps, with the attendance celebrations. And so the year 1994 comes to a close. And soon enough, it's back to school for the spring semester. Still no word from K-Ron Group, but towards the end of January, Annie, you are out for a stroll one evening, in your neighborhood, right? You're making your way back home from perhaps a friend's house, a little study session. When you see something strange, but before I tell you what that is, I'll need you to make a resolve this time, plus composure roll.
Resolve composure? What's composure?
Resolve.
Okay.
Is a light on in the Patterson house, which has been, of course, dark every other night for years.
Well, one of the rules is we're supposed to stay together. But I think Annie would have a very hard time resisting looking into that. But then again, Annie also is wanting to be a hunter and knows that very well could be a vampire. So I think Annie is going to start to head, like she's going to go just take a quick look and she'll be okay. And then she kind of pauses And then she looks back up at the light and looks back down, where the street is. And then she kind of says, and then she's going to head home and call the others.
All right. So one after another, you all get a call from Annie telling you light on in the Patterson house.
Well, we got to check it out. You called us?
Hey, stop it. Come on. Let's just come over.
All right, I'm on my way. Good job.
All right. So what's the plan? You've all gathered at Annie's house. How would you like to approach this?
So, diamond formation or pincer movement?
I think we do another Mistress Black, and we go in and we say we are loud and distracting while two of the other ones go around to the other side.
Have it face us on our terms. Yeah, I'm in.
Well, wait. What if it's just the family just finally moved back, or they actually sold the house?
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, why don't we just walk up to the front door and we'll listen first?
That's probably a good idea, because if we kick the door in, that is breaking and entering, and we will be arrested.
You and kicking the doors in ever since.
Have you tried it?
Well, no, I haven't needed to.
You
We won't give any of the rest of us a chance.
Yeah, immediately.
Picturing
Just
Nick like
kicks the
kicking
door.
every door.
Yeah,
like
he doesn't even try it first. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you walk up the long drive to the Patterson house, and as with the murder house, this has kind of a little central, room, second story room, tower, sort of effect going on, that rises up from the center of the first floor, and that you can see that's where the light is on. It looks like an electric light, maybe a lamp. Looks kind of cozy, actually.
No sound though.
Should we just go up and knock?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Everyone's got their stakes ready to go, just in case.
Always. Anyone need them? Anyone need?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Got it.
All right. So Annie will lead the way up and just casually walk up the driveway and walk up to the front door. And
okay. So the front door is like it's a double door situation. And so the door on the right is actually slightly ajar. All right.
Get ready, everyone.
Really a good sign. I'll open it and look at Nick. Make sure he's not panicking.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
See, they open.
I know how doors work. Do you think I just kick the doors of my home in all day?
I worry.
Wouldn't put it past you.
And then Annie's going to call out and be like, hello, is anyone home?
All right. So pushing the door open, there's a little stairway, little broad stairway going up from this entry hall. Goes into larger kind of hallway. And beyond that is a living room, and beyond that is a big picture window. And so you can see sort of part of that, like you're a couple of feet down from the main floor. So you call out, and as you're calling out, you can see there's no lights on down here. But the lights of the city are coming in through that big picture window. And you can see someone is just standing there looking out with his hands clasped behind his back. And his head turned slightly, and he says, Entrez, Annie, friends.
Is this the same vampire who was living in the basement, or is it the one in the club? Or can I tell?
You have not heard this voice before.
Annie's going to walk in cautiously and say, are you the traveler from abroad that we've been expecting?
So he turns, and of course he's still silhouetted. You can see that he has like a, his hair back in a loose ponytail, and he's wearing a very nice suit. You can tell even in the silhouette, it's well tailored, And he says, "I am from across the sea. Yes, many years ago."
Yes, my tarot card said that we would be expecting a traveler from across the sea, and here you are in the Patterson house.
Indeed. I would like to have a little meeting, if that is all right, with the four of you.
At this point, Annie's going to look back at the others like,
Put on the welcome light.
Why not? It's not the weirdest thing we've done.
gosh, is the light on the Patterson house like our equivalent of the bat signal? I think we need to figure that out.
There is something, Annie, that is weirdly familiar about him, but you can't place it, and it's just you.
Annie says, sure, could we get some lights on so we can actually see you? Or is this supposed to be mysterious and dark?
Well, it was quite an effort just to get that lamp upstairs to work. I had to hook it up to a battery. There was no power in this house. However, you may approach. And he kind of, gives a little regal wave, You might see me better in the light from the city below.
All right. Annie will cautiously lead forward and check for exits and other people in the room as she does.
So exit-wise, there is a hall to your left that would give you access to the spiral stairs going down to the old basement area, as well as some bedrooms, bathrooms up here on this floor. To your right is the old dining room, and that has a patio door, sliding door you could presumably get out through. And of course, the way you came in. So as you're cautiously entering the former living room, he gives a little bow, and he says, "It is terribly rude of me. I know each one of you, but you do not know me. I am Louis Fortier."
Hello, Louis.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Louis.
I wanted to...
How do you know us exactly?
I wanted to meet with you all personally so I could thank you. You helped me solve a very difficult problem. I will call it the Jodie problem. Yes, she was someone I had working for me, and unfortunately, I lost control.
And she lost control.
Indeed.
So, did you have some kind of reward out for her, or?
Not officially, but I would like to offer you a reward.
We don't want to be vampires.
We don't want to be vampires. No offense.
No. It is nothing like that, although not too different either. You see, the project I had Mademoiselle Toinette working on was a certain experimental medicine synthesized from my own blood, you see. I have many pledge themselves to me, and in return, I give them everything they could possibly want. You will be youthful forever, but you will not be like me. I promise you that. You will still be alive. You will still be able to walk around during the day. All these things will still be available to you. And you will be strong and young. And in return, I only ask some favors, some service. You have proven yourselves. You are very capable, all of you. Resourceful. Everything I could possibly want. And Annie, We have gotten to know each other so well through the America Online chat rooms.
Was that you?
Indeed. Jody showed me how to get online.
Well, and they say you can't teach old dogs new tricks.
Well, I am a very old dog indeed. So what do you say, kids? I'm planning to make some big moves in the city soon. I could certainly use capable foot soldiers.
Well, I if you have been studying us, Mr. Fortier, you know that we are a group and that we really try to, one of our rules is that we stick together. So I think that we're going to need to, think about your offer and discuss it and get back to you. Is there a place we can find you at?
Certainly feel free to talk amongst yourselves this evening, but now that you are here, I cannot let you go without having made a decision first. I think you understand why.
So
Of
it's your
course.
classic deal with the devil type situation.
Oh, it's that. Deal with the devil.
Yes, because the people we're talking to in Burbank are definitely also not the devil.
Yeah. It is.
There's the devil, and then there's Satan. So, you
Right.
gotta
So
see.
yeah. That's our choice when it comes down to it. Is there a contract or something we have to sign? What's the paperwork look like?
Oh, there's no paperwork. There's no paperwork. Just a celebratory toast that will seal the deal.
Annie
So we
is
could talk
less
amongst ourselves.
useless at this point.
Yeah, we need to talk amongst ourselves.
But of course, please. And he indicates the patio door off the dining room.
And stuff out there.
Well,
Chill
this
January.
reminds me. What's that?
You step out into the chill January air, huddle up,
Mhm.
and
Somehow it feels warm in here.
What did you say, Patrick?
My flamethrower is in the car.
Do you think that one of us could go? The others stay behind.
To be fair, he's not mad at us yet. Do we want to make him mad at us? Because that also seems like a bad plan.
It does.
Yeah, but he's also not going to let us leave. I don't think any of us want to become vampires.
Very
right?
strong. I got a very strong vibe of he's going to kill us if we don't say yes.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions.
Okay, but if I'm wrong, we die. If I'm right, we die.
No, if you're right, we die.
I'm sorry. If you're right, if I'm right, we die. That sounded way less cool because of that. Damn.
Yeah, but how often are you right? Come on.
It's true.
Who among us actually believed that there was a conspiracy of unearthly things before we discovered there was a conspiracy of unearthly things?
I mean, that was a real broken clock situation. I'm going to be honest. You believe in a lot of conspiracies, my friend. One of the 300 was right, I think.
And I have zero proof that 250 of the other ones might not also be true.
Those are still out to jury. That's true. It's true.
Well,
okay.
Clearly, if we say yes, he's going to make us.
Yes, that seems probable. I mean, I don't know. Okay. First question is, do we want to do it? I assume, well, I won't speak for anyone. In fact, I think hands up if you want to do it.
So, while he's doing this, Annie glances back through the windows. Are we being watched during this conversation?
Doesn't seem like it. He's sort of returned to his thoughtful pose, staring out over the city.
Is Lex Luthor.
Yes, quite.
So, I mean, I think we should assume that, and he's going to kind of point at her ears that
Yeah.
we're going to have to let him know soon.
Mm-hmm.
And there would be options, like we could go along with it, or we could maybe presume that he's not going to kill us, and she's going to point furiously like down off the patio and go like make the gestures. Yeah. so thinking, well, if he's not looking, at least we can kind of do hand gestures.
Right.
So Annie's going to try to signal to her close friends, the options on the table are either, we drink the blood or we get the hell out right now and hope we make it.
All right. So the options are, I'm going to gesture left hand, drink the blood, or right hand, and I'll do the running motion, politely decline. Let's raise.
Annie's going to put her right hand against her face like this.
What's Nick and Ari's vote?
Nick's vote is to run. Essentially, I didn't quite follow all the various hand signals that we were trying to use to imply things. So I'm a little. Patrick, the player, is a little lost, but Nick, the character, is voting to run.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Ari's. There's hesitation, but it's not like hesitation. I'm strongly considering this. It's hesitation like, God, it sucks to be stuck between a rock and a hard place, and then gestures similarly to run.
All right.
Okay. So then Annie, I think at this point would say, all right, well, I think what we should do then is we should vote on the count of 3.
All right.
And we'll all commit to what we want to do. Get ready, everyone. 1, 2. And I think she won't say 3. I think she'll be 1, 2, and then she's just going to turn and start bucking.
100%.
Okay, so you all bolt from the deck patio, whatever, down along the side of the house. So this takes you running, past the kitchen window, down past another set of sliding doors into like the den, down past the garage, and then out. And you're kind of running through some overgrown scrub, and it's, you feel it, catching at your shoes and scraping across your jeans, cargo pants, and then you come rounding the corner out into the drive, and Louis is standing there.
Stakes out.
I think
All
it's
right.
safe to say we politely decline.
Indeed. So, I know we're coming up on time here. So, do we want to do the Butch and Sundance style ending where we just freeze frame on that moment where you're facing off against a 200-year-old vampire, or do you want to play out the combat? Go.
I mean, I know it's 9 o'clock here in Pacific. It must be 10. It's probably super late for you, Nico.
On midnight East Coast.
Yeah.
Baby.
I am totally down for a Butch and Sundance style ending. I think that's an underutilized. The adventure continues, as always, to me, an excellent way of ending something.
Yeah, I agree. I'm super down with that.
That's my preference. Well, just wanted to make sure everyone's okay with it. Yeah.
We can very much establish that. Like, how did that end? Well, leave it up to your imagination, dear listener.
or to the next series in the sequence.
Right.
Or to that.
We might come back and just see how much of a family the Kaelon group is.
Yes.
And why there's always job openings there.
How's the health package?
Yeah, exactly. What's there?
Experimental.
Excuse you, it's cutting edge.
Oh, bleeding edge.
Good
All
stuff.
right. Well, that is that, folks. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
A
dude.
lot of fun.
It was so great.
I hope we were able to wrap up enough loose ends there for the deal.
I feel like you did. Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
For sure. And fun fact, Patrick, what is your handle for DGS?
In my on
In
the
the
Discord.
Discord.
The officers all, as a weird dumb habit, give themselves a secondary title. For example, Andrew is the Autumn King. I am CAO, Chief Acquisitions Officer of Chiron Limited.
That's the kind of synergy and synchronicity I live for.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Well, thanks again. That was a lot
Well,
of
thank you. This is such a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
Much.
Thank you for all your listeners. We hope that
Yeah.
we entertained you for a few hours.
fun.
And greetings to Finland and the Cayman Islands.
Right.
And New
That's my
Zealand.
favorite places.
Yes.
And New Zealand now too. Go Kiwis.
Yeah.
Finland. I am a big fan of Remedy Entertainment's output, so thank you for that, I guess. I don't know. You're all responsible for that, right? That's how countries work.
Yes, indeed.
Nice. Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, Steven.
Now I lay me down to sleep. Pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Cause I'm ready to die.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All y'all motherfuckers come with me if you want.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Big small, big grand.
I'm ready.
Rocking on and on in 93. Easy Mo B. Third Eye. The rest of the Bad Boy fam. I don't want to see no crying at my funeral.
A final note by way of epilogue. Thank you, dear listener, for joining us in this chronicle. It's good to be back in the world of nightlife. If this is your first nightlife chronicle, be sure to check out some of our earlier material. Visit our website at eorpodcast.com to find them all. I also want to thank my co-conspirator, Desiree. She was our behind-the-scenes storyteller for this chronicle, advising on plot twists, characters we could bring back, ideas we could put forth. It wouldn't have been the same chronicle without her invaluable input. As for the fate of Louis, Alonzo, the Pasadena High, Hunter Cell, Amy, and many more characters featured in this chronicle, those very well may be revealed in forthcoming duets. So stay tuned. And thanks again for listening.